outside their control. He's not a party man. He's not. What's the worst thing that a cop can do when a dirty cop offers him dirty money?
Reject it.
Reject it, right? Don't you put a target on your back when you do that?
Yep.
It's exactly what Trump has done here. He won't take the dirty money, and all the dirty cops in the precinct are all gunning for him now.
My favorite part of the whole Trump-Romney debate is what Trump said about Mitt wanting his support. He said, I could have said, Mitt, drop to your knees, and he would have dropped to his knees.
Oh, yeah. You know what? And that point right there, that brings me to a point that I wanted to make, and it's something that Romney touched on several times today. It's something that every talking head has touched on. It's something that commonly, whenever I'm listening to people or talking to people about this presidential election, that everyone seems to say about Donald Trump, the number one knock against him seems to be, and I quote, Trump doesn't sound presidential. That's generally what people say.
Yeah, but I think more than doesn't sound presidential, he sounds childish. I mean, he comes across, like I said, like a fifth grade bully.
Well, I think in those debates, I think he's fighting off his back a lot. I think he's getting attacked a lot. But what I would say to people, don't like what he says. They don't like that he doesn't have a filter. And to anyone that says Trump doesn't sound presidential, I would actually say exactly. No. How many times have you and me and your hairdresser complained that they're all fake people? They get up, they don't say anything real, they don't stand for anything real, they just spout these nice-sounding, completely inoffensive, something that they won't give any handles for the 10 o'clock news to grab on and criticize them. And so we end up getting nowhere. We end up electing these people who have pretty much promised us through their non-words to not stand for anything. And so now, and we've grown so accustomed to it.
Yeah, but don't you think that Trump's made a lot of real racist remarks throughout this campaign?
No, I don't, actually. I think Trump has answered the question that's been asked to him specifically, and then whatever he says is taken out of context, completely rewrapped, repackaged, and then repeated until it becomes the truth. If you go back and you look at any of the number of things that people have tried to use, he's xenophobic because he doesn't want Muslims in this country. He didn't say he doesn't want Muslims in this country. In fact, it's gotten worse than that now. The talking point on him now is he hates Muslims. That's what, that's the thing now. Oh, well, Trump's Hitler, he hates Muslims.
Yeah,
this is literally what they're saying. This is what New York Times and headlines are all saying. They're comparing him to Hitler, and they're saying he hates Muslims. What he said specifically that raised all this ire was an answer to a specific question about what to do with Syrian refugees and refugees in general coming from countries on this list of Iran, Pakistan. You know who I'm talking about. And he answered it. And what he said was, until we can guarantee that we're not, and I'm paraphrasing, until we can guarantee that we're not letting terrorists through, we need to shut down letting in Muslim immigrants from those countries.
And most people would agree with that.
Here's the thing. Not only would most people agree with that, Dave, that question exactly was posed to different user groups. And depending on whether that was framed as Trump's solution or just a solution, determined how much people agreed with it. When that question was posed specifically to Democrats, 20% agreed with it as Trump's solution. 45% thought it sounded reasonable when Trump's name was kept out of it.
So pretty much what they're doing is they're bastardizing the campaign, the media.
Yes.
The world media.
And everyone's going along with it.
Mainstream media.
And also, just as far as the Muslim thing specifically, it's well within the president. It's actually part of the president's responsibilities and well within his ability as president to set. He's not talking about American citizens. He's talking about non-American. The Constitution doesn't cover people who aren't American citizens. They don't have protection under the Constitution. And it is within the president's power to restrict and control specifically which groups of immigrants can and cannot come into this country. And it's been used to restrict people at times of war. Germans, Japanese, Italians.
The Japanese we actually put in camps.
Right. Well, and immigrants were limited coming into this country when we were at war with those countries by none other than the progressive poster child, FDR.
So there's precedent to what's being said by Trump that I find it hard. I find it hard to agree with him being president, mainly because he scares the shit out of me. And maybe it's because he isn't presidential or he doesn't sound presidential. He scares me. I'm afraid he's the type of person who would put his finger on the button.
I think he's smarter than that. But you know what, though? Before I go too far down a limb, they all scare me. And he scares me, too. I'm not going to sit here and tell you he doesn't scare me. They all scare me. And I don't fully know what all his motivations are. I'm not going to run a Donald Trump campaign center. All I'm trying to point out is that
he's not the devil that the mainstream media has made him out to be.
Clearly, no one is that bad, and so much of what gets said against him. If you go, Romney talked today about how he made fun of McCain. He didn't make fun of McCain. A question came up about John McCain, and if you go back and you can read the transcripts, but even more, actually listen to the audio so you can hear the inflections in his voice. 4 times in answering the question, Donald Trump said, John McCain's a hero. Let me be clear. John McCain is a hero. Now, he was a prisoner of war. What he said was the kinds of things that you and I say to each other in private. Why does becoming a prisoner of war automatically make you a hero? Or, you don't just become a hero because you did, just becoming a fireman doesn't make you a hero.
You got to get into a burning building.
You got to save a baby from a burning building before we just, we've gotten into this thing of mind control and throwing laurel wreaths at the feet of the right people. And you have to wonder why. Why is it so important that we just call every single soldier a hero? And he won't do that. He doesn't do that. And good, bad, or otherwise, it's at least refreshing. And it's almost a throwback to old school politics.
All right. Well, how about this? What about, and think about this during our next break, which we're right on the verge of. How about a Trump-Sanders campaign?
Well, we talked about that.
They would level each other out, I think.
And the level of truth in that, it would be interesting. It would be very interesting. I don't think you'll ever see it, but it would be super, super. I think that ticket would get elected. But you know what? Let's take this break. We're going to come back around for our 4th and final segment. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to 13 Folds Radio on rifreeradio.org.
Hush now, baby, there's no need to cry. Let me wipe away those lemon eyes. All your worries, such a waste of time. You can't even see how much you're mine. You're so bitter, 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 yellow, settle, okay, listen, you listen, yellow, a killer, just say. Lemon eyes, you're mine. jealousy. Lemon eyes, you're mine. Yellow eyes, all mine. I bet you wanna walk away, run away, look away, turn away, honey, you can't hide. Lemon eyes, all mine. And the doctor said you're fine, fine. Just a case of bitterness. See, I told you you were mine. Lemon eyes, you're mine. Yellow eyes, all mine. I bet you wanna walk away, run away, look away, turn away, honey, you can't hide. Lemon eyes, all mine.
This is a journey. Journey to the south. Would you join me, please, in welcoming
Redeemer full of culture.
I got so much trouble on my mind. Refuse to lose. Here's your ticket. Hear the drummer get wicked. The crew to you to push the back the black attack. So I sack and jab and slap the Mac. Now I'm ready to mic it. Hear my favoritism, Rolo. Never be a brother like me, go solo. Laser, Anastasia, major. Ways to blaze your brain and train you. The way I'm living, forgiving what I'm giving up. X on the flex, giving now. I don't know about later. And for now, I know how to avoid the paranoid. Man, I've had it up to here. Yeah, I wear, got 'em going in fear. Rhetoric said and read just a bit ago. And I'm quick to go sign the hard rammer. What to keep from getting jerked in some ways. The way back in the better days. Raw, metaphysically bold, never follow the code. Still drop the load, never question what I am, God knows. Cause it's coming from the heart. What I got, better get something on up. Hustler of culture, snake bitten, been spit in the face. But the rhyme keep fitting, respect's been given, how's you living? Now I can't protect, I paid off defect. Check the record and record, intentional wreck. Grade, office, some intellect. Made the call, took the fall, broke the laws. Not my fault that they're falling off. Known as fair and square throughout my years. So I growl at the living foul. Black to the bone, my home is your home. But welcome to the Terror Dome. Would you join me, please, in welcoming
So long now. Have a good trip. Yo, who put this thing together, huh? Me. That's who. Who I trust. Me.
Would you join me, please, in
Yo, who you trust,
welcoming
man?
Subordinate terror kicking off an error. For delivering pain, my 98 was 87 on a Ricky, yo. So now go Bronco.
Oh, just stay out the goods, man. Just stay out the goods, man. Yo, we gotta go kick boys off.
Crucifixion ain't no fiction. So-called chosen, frozen, apology made to whoever pleases. Still he got me like Jesus. I'd rather sing, bring, think, reminisce. About a brother while I'm in sync. Every brother ain't a brother, cause a